And we're live. Hey everyone, Tammy Anderson Ward here on February 9th. It's a Sunday, beautiful, beautiful day. I've been outside with the fresh air and just breathing it in. It's felt really, really good. I can't believe actually how warm it's been today. It's like very sunny. I hope that wherever you are in the world that you're enjoying your beautiful Sunday as well. Today we have an amazing speaker spotlight. I am so pleased to be able to bring her on again. This is Tomasa Macapinlac. And if you have not gotten a chance to either like maybe watch her from, like other videos that we've done with her, or if you haven't gotten the chance to see her present at a conference or meet her in the vendor hall, I want to give you an opportunity wherever you are in the world to connect with her today, because she has been such a huge blessing in a lot of people's lives, including my own. And one thing that I want to share with you that has really blessed my life about getting to know Tomasa is that when you are really feeling like you're really being intuitive, but you're not sure, like you're like, I feel like this is the path. I'm pretty sure this is where I'm supposed to be going. She has the beautiful gift of being able to read your cosmic blueprint, is how she refers to it. And I love the way that because that just the name feels really good. And she has the ability to be able to help you to be able to see things that maybe you couldn't see on your own. And it's just very validating, actually. Helps you to know, like, okay, maybe I got to tweak this, or twist this around, help this around. But with everything that's going on in the world right now, I really wanted to reach out to her and say, hey, can you help us as a collective to be able to see more about what that means, how we can be on our path? And you guys, Tomasa is an electrical engineer who has turned energy healer, right? She's 61 years old and she's a veteran of the healing and personal development industry for over 27 years. So I would say that's an expert, right? They say 10,000 hours puts you as expert status. She's definitely got that and then some. And she's had a lot of experience with her clients, helping them to heal physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Because, we're not one and we're not the other. We're all of those things, right? You can't compartmentalize us. So this is a really big deal. Since her initiation as a shaman, she studied in Peru and has led hundreds of Despacho ceremonies and facilitated the medicine wheel and installed I'm going to have her tell me exactly how to say that word. But it's the enqa initiation rites in dozens of students, which is really, really cool. I've been very, very, very grateful for the people who have been doing that kind of work, because they have opened doors and literally led the way for so many people that I love and has made such a big difference in their lives. So this is really important to me. Tomasa is dedicated in the healing of humanity and the planet. She has given hundreds of shamanic sessions and performed dozens of house clearings, helping her clients' communities and the collective to transform and thrive. So you guys are in for a real treat. She just loves seeing people go from struggling to thriving. And really, no matter where you are, whatever you're doing, you guys, she's amazing. So as a lifelong learner, she has really stayed committed to her own healing and evolution as a shamanic healer. One thing I will say is that she doesn't mess around. Her self-care is sacred and very precious to her. And she's been a great example to me when I don't have all my ducks in a row or all my puzzle pieces in place. She's showing me. She's not just telling people, she's showing us the way. And I just love how clear she is when it comes to all of that. So without further ado, I will stop being so long-winded. I'm going to go ahead and bring on the amazing Tomasa Macapinlac. How are you?
I'm feeling really good, and I'm actually teared up by that introduction.
Oh, you have no idea how much I love you, genuinely. Like, oh.
It warms the cockles of my heart, but it's just like, to be seen by others and to see that, because my students even say, you know why we work with her? Because she's the highest vibration of anybody we've ever worked with. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys really see me.
Yes, I love it. Well, I know that you have some amazing slides that you've prepared. I'm going to have you go ahead and pull those on the screen, because I think I have to approve those really quick. So while I'm on with you, I'm going to have you go ahead and pull those up. For those of you who are watching us right now, I invite you to share this video with anyone that you think would be really interested in maybe having some insights and some tips from someone who has this kind of healing and experience. And literally, Tomasa, I just love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. You're amazing.
Oh,
Okay.
well, thank you. I'm trying to find my, okay, here we go.
Perfect.
Can you see that?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, so much is going on here in the world, and I don't think we all really understand the world is changing. It really is. And it's not just that, it's about politics or whatever, but the earth is changing. The poles of the earth are changing. And I think we've been feeling it for a while now, weather patterns have changed. I mean, if we look at, I look at where I'm from, Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is, not as warm as it used to be when I was growing up. It was a very sunny place. It's really not that way anymore. Even the coastlines have changed. I remember one day going to one of the beaches I used to go to and said, what happened to this beach? And what I learned is that the beach, had been, there had been a big storm. And so there was a lot of debris on the beach. And so there really wasn't much of a beach anymore. And the place I used to go hiking in Malibu, just all those things. But, even the East Coast has had extreme differences going on. If we look at what happened to Asheville, North Carolina, I have a friend that moved there and, being displaced from your home, from not having water, all kinds of things are happening. And we want to blame it on different things, different theories. And the truth is that, part of it is written in the stars. So I want to talk about some planetary transits that are requiring the collective to change. Well, we've seen Pluto move from Capricorn to Aquarius. And so it did this little dance last year, where it was in Aquarius for a little bit. It teased us. And then it went back into Capricorn. And so, when Pluto's in Capricorn, it exposes a lot of things going on in the world, specifically the political arena. I don't really want to get into politics because I'm apolitical, to be quite honest. But Pluto in Aquarius means a lot because Aquarius represents the collective. And it's there to stay until 2043. So how many years do we have here? It's like 18 years. Did I do my math right? So I think it's about 18 years that we're going to see Pluto in Aquarius. That means we have 18 years to get it together, y'all, because Pluto in Aquarius means that we are transforming as a group, as a collective. And we've seen what has been exposed to us. We might see it or we might look the other way. Now, the other planet is Neptune. These are outer planets. Neptune will be changing signs this year from Pisces to Aries. I want to caution you about Neptune. Neptune is a planet that can make us delusional about things. So if we're not real clear and tuned in to our souls and understand what's going on, Neptune can show us the illusion. So that's the shadow piece of Neptune. But the beauty of Neptune is that it can actually help us to see the beautiful things in the world and have a vision and beliefs and all those things. And so Neptune is changing from its home sign of Pisces to Aries on March 30th. Now, it's not going to stay there totally this year. So it's going to do this little dance of going to Aries and going back into Pisces. And so, what does Neptune Aries mean? I want you to understand it's the vision. Pisces is the vision. It sees, it dreams, it sees the vision. But sometimes we can't make that vision come true when Neptune's in Pisces. But when Neptune is in Aries, watch out, because it means the fire is ready to go. It's like, okay, we've seen that vision. Now let's go for it. And so that's what you're going to see happening here. And then I want to talk about Uranus. Uranus, bless Uranus. Uranus is one of my challenging planets. I say that because Uranus is so full of surprises. And we've seen Uranus full of surprises. It's been in Taurus since 2018. On July 7th of this year, it's going from Taurus to Gemini. Uranus is the big brother to the planet that rules Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini. And what does that mean? Uranus is like, boy, we are going to be thinking outside the box on steroids. So if you think that technology has taken off and it's just like, everything's AI, it's going to be up to us to keep our personal connections, because everything is going to be feel very robotic. And it's already frustrating. I don't know about you, but as a light worker, I love to have hands on the deck and to actually, touch in and touch the hearts of the people that I work with and feel the hearts of the people that I'm surrounded by. But so Uranus, it's going to be changing. It's about the internet. It's about technology. Jobs that we thought were there, we'd never, be replaced by. You're going to see some of that. So what's really happening or what's coming forth is that you might not want to hear this, but it's about you no longer just having a job. It's about you using those God-given skills that you have. Because guess what? Uranus is not intuitive. AI is not intuitive. We are the ones that are intuitive. When we tune into spirit, that is our intuition. And so it's very key to understand that. So I already said this. You cannot be the same person you have been. The new earth requires you to shift into the future you. And what does the future you look like? It's really about you coming back to understanding who you were before, you got all this human conditioning. You grew up in a household with parents, perhaps, or grandparents, whoever you were around. And you had experiences growing up. And those experiences have been buried in our subconscious mind. And so it keeps us on autopilot, right? But, when we're on autopilot, because I know I'm on autopilot a lot, I was like, how did I get there? Because I just know how to do something. It's like riding a bicycle. You just know how to do it. The first 7 years of our life, we're being hypnotically controlled. That's why we say when we're raising children, we need to make sure those children, understand and have a place on this world and, be responsible or just, really love them from the ages of 0 to 7. And I said, yes, 0, because when we're in our mother's womb and that last trimester, we hear everything going on in the world. We hear everything going on in our mother's world. And we take that on, we embody it, and it gets buried deep in the subconscious world. I want to bring out that world leaders are changing. I mean, I went online to look at, how many elections are happening this year. So I didn't even bother to even try to make it all pretty for you. I just leave it like that, Tomasa, because this tells you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think it's like 8 picture screenshots that I took. And that tells you, look, just the first page, just in Africa. Okay. I mean, I could move this out of the way and look at it and see what are the other states, the Americas are having. Just all over the world leaders are changing. And so that means that, things are changing here. So I want you to know whatever's happening, it doesn't matter if it's a political thing going on, if war's going on, it's all written in the stars. The way the planets line up, it's all written there. So we all chose to be here during this time. And so either we can get stuck and feel the heaviness, because, I found myself feeling the heaviness a few weeks ago. And, and then I said, Tomasa, you're a shaman. Guess what? We can do things differently. And so I chose to focus on what it is that I want in this world. And I want to advise you, I want to encourage you to focus on what it is that you want here in this world and not all this political stuff that's happening. So how do we navigate in the shifting world? So I want to talk about self-care versus soul care. I know Tammy, when she opened up, she talked about me with my self-care. Yes, I have been known as a self-care queen. That was my branding I took on in 2010. Well, it is 2025. And in 2024, I came out with Shaman for the Stars. Because guess what? When I would receive the Munay Ki rites, which was what Tammy was trying to pronounce earlier, this is the initiation of a shaman of the enqa tradition. When I received those rites, I would feel the Masa Kuna rite. The Masa Kuna rite is the star keeper's rite. I would cry. I would feel it so deeply because I know that I am here to bring the stars to people, to help people step into their destiny, to help people remember who they are. Because the truth is that we are the five-pointed star. Man is. That's what sacred geometry is all about. So self-care is getting some work done on yourself. It could be exercise. It could be a massage. It could be I'm doing this, or any of those things. But I want to talk about soul care. Soul care requires you to tune into your soul. Notice that I talked about Uranus earlier, how Uranus is, that planet of surprises and breakthroughs. And it also is that planet that's all about the AI. It's getting ready to take off. It's already taken off. You think it's taking off right now? It's going to be on steroids soon. But also, I want you to know Uranus is also about us bringing ourselves into community. So we have the opportunity to really bring ourselves into community, to be community, to support each other, to be kind, to be compassionate. To what is community all about? Maybe it's us gathering. Maybe it's us growing a garden together. Maybe it's homesteading together. I know the folks out in Utah, they seem to have a lot of homesteading, more than I've seen in California. Or maybe I just haven't been exposed to it in California, but you definitely have the land in Utah. California doesn't have the land. The big cities don't have the land. But maybe it's time. If you're already having physical things going on with your body, it's your soul's alarm going off and telling you that you are out of alignment. And what does that look like? So I'm going to give you some examples of being out of alignment with your soul. So if you had back pain, memory loss, sciatica, ringing in the ears, which we call tinnitus, asthma, bronchitis, breathing projects. I think if many of you know me, I healed myself of a lung project many years ago called asthma. I had it from I was 18 years old till I was 48. So it took me 30 years to heal it, but I did. And it was the shamanic work that finally hit the nail on the head with it. And I managed it all those years with what I'm about to show you. And then finally it just went kaput, goodbye. Never seen it again. And it's so much better to be able to breathe easy and deeply and be able to go on a hike without worrying about if I'm going to die on the trail somewhere. The next one is hypertension. A lot of people take these normal things, these everyday things as, oh, but I take a pill for it. But the truth is that if you have to take a pill for it, then it is not in alignment with your soul, because your soul knows what divine health is supposed to look like. That's the blueprint. Then we have what we call skin rashes, eczema, psoriasis. I wrote in one of my groups, all of a sudden I saw myself breaking out with eczema recently. We have to look deeply. What is skin rashes about? And so, yes, I could be allergic to eggs, but the question is, why wasn't I allergic to them like a few months ago? I was fine. So then it becomes like, what is it about the skin? Maybe I'm irritated. I'm not willing to let go. I had my kid call me before they went off for an 8-month hiatus in Hawaii and told me, Mom, I'm thinking about leaving the country. Mom doesn't want her kid to leave the country. But I understand they're 33 years old. They got to live their life. And so I get it. But there's also this part of me, I want to hold on to my kids. I love my kids. I want my kids in my life, right? But I also have to let them go. And I know that we're always connected. So then there's shoulder or neck tension. I mean, this is a big one among a lot of us. This is where we carry our stress. Neck tension is about not wanting to let go, and really, wanting to control things. Shoulder tension can be a number of things. It could be the lungs. Maybe I can't breathe so deeply, or your breath is shallow, because it will show up in the shoulder package that way. Then there's teeth grinding. There's other things as well. There's so much more. I can't name every dis-ease, I call it, but there are a lot. And I haven't even named some of the really intense, scary labels, we call them. And I don't even like to call them scary labels, because I have a friend that has one of those labels, and she's been living for a long time when the doctors say, hey, you're not supposed to be here, right? So that is telling you that we know how to tune into spirit and not have the dis-ease take over our body. So I want to give you an example of something that I've done before. And this is something that I teach in my classes. I talk about numerology. I start out with numerology. I mean, if you come to one of my talks at any place that I speak, I start out with numerology, because that's simple. We can calculate our numbers. But this is an example of a male that I worked on recently at a conference, probably maybe 3 weeks ago. He's a single male. He's never been married. He's 66 years old. I just read his chart for him on Friday, but I worked on him at the conference. Yes, I can do that. I can work on somebody, look at their chart real quick, and figure out what's going on with that person. He told me he had gout. And it's so funny, because before he even told me that, I listened to his pulses and I looked at him and I said, oh, I'm going to do this flow on you in just a second. I'm going to share what I did on him. And he's vegan. He's vegan for a reason. He switched over to vegan because he has gout. So he doesn't want to have gout anymore. So he's doing everything on the physical level to help himself. However, energetically, we sometimes have to go and help ourselves. So here's his birthday, 02/20/1959. He has a birthday coming up. Now, if I add up all the digits there, 02 is a 2, 20 is a 2, so that's a 4. So 1 is, you add that up to the 4, that's a 5. 5 plus 9 is 14, so that's another 5. I'm sorry, I'm singling the digits down. So that's what numerology is about. So 5 plus 5 is 10, so that is a 1. And 1 plus 9 is 10, which is a 1. So we always go down to a single digit. We take the digits and we just make them a single digit. So his life path is a 1. So it's so funny, because when I started to work on him, that's what I worked on. I worked on 1, because 1 is about getting things moving. It's not always about, if someone's stuck, we do a 1 flow on them. I actually have my sweetie, his life path. He has something as a 1. Oh, his personal year last year was a 1. And he gets stuck. And I go, maybe you need to do work on the 1s on yourself. And we're going to talk about what the 1s look like. So here is the essence of the numbers. And I share this when I speak. I share this when I teach my class, Unlock Your Cosmic Blueprint. And so what's 1? A prime mover. So here's the chart. This is a Jinshin Jitsu chart. This is a modality I learned 28 years ago. And so if you look at 1, it's right here at the knees. So it's about, hey, what do the knees allow you to do? Move and walk forward, right? So if you can't move and walk forward, but if you hold these 1s on yourself, I bet you'll find yourself being able to move forward and get unstuck. It happens a lot. When I gave that to my sweetie, he was able to move forward with some things going on in his business. I was like, you need to go hold your 1s. Your personal year is a 1. We talk about personal year when you take Unlock Your Cosmic Blueprint, but life path is so much easier to just look at somebody's birthday and calculate it. So, if I look at the safety energy locks, there's different levels of them. I don't even share this with everyone, but I'm sharing it with you now. But this is something I share in Unlock Your Cosmic Blueprint class, because the body, these are the body numbers. So this is the physical level. This is the mind. I love the mind and the spirit numbers, because they make such a big impact on people. So I always have to work just somebody's 1s. I could go work on their 10, or I could work on their 19. Guess what? This is 1. 1 plus 0 is a 1. 1 plus 9 is a 10, which is a 1. So I could go work on this level, and it can affect the person and get the person to move forward. Now, if we went back to the chart there, it would show something different. It would show you the 19s. The 19s are at the elbows. Well, guess what? You know, a limb is a limb. This is at the elbow. This is at the knee. So, you know, this is a whole body. This is a whole body too. And so I'll let you deduct. Oh, this is how this all works together, right? So here's the whole body here. Look at the 10. You can look at the scapula that way, this whole body here. This is the 10. The 10 is on the back. It's hard for us to reach those. So instead of going to the 10s, we'll go to the 19s instead to help the 10s. And I teach that in my class, but I don't expect you to get all of that right now. But I want to talk more about this example of the single male, never married, 66 years old. He'll be 66 years old in a couple of weeks here. And he has gout. He's a vegan. So big toe is associated with gout. Good. So I want you to know that he's a Pisces. That's his sun. But, you know, we're so much more than our sun sign. I want you to point out that he has 3 planets in Pisces. This is the symbol for Pisces here, whether you see like the little H. It's really a fish. And that's the symbol for the fish. And then he's got his sun at 1 degree. I can't even read it because my red line, I circled it. And then he's got Mercury in Pisces, and he's got Venus in Pisces. They're not all in the same house, but he has 3 planets in Pisces. I consider that what we call a stellium. Remember that, a stellium. So what is associated with the Pisces flow? It's the liver function energy flow. Guess what I did on him at the conference? I did a liver function energy flow on him. I did a 1 flow on him. I did a liver function energy flow on him. I don't remember everything else I did, but I remember because he's a Cancer rising. So the flow that is associated with Cancer rising is a spleen function energy flow. So I did that on him too, because I asked him, I said, how's your energy? He says, oh, I can use some more. So because of that, and his moon is in Cancer, and it's in a pretty late degree of Cancer, which means it can be very intense. So I did the spleen function energy flow. And if you have my book, 30 Days to a Vibrant, Healthy Young You, it is in the book, and it's called The Energizing Flow. So here you go. When he got off that table, you want to know what he said? He said, I came to the right place. I am buzzing with energy now. I feel good. He said, I don't need to go to anyone else. I was his first stop at that conference. And so I was like, good. You know, he came back to me and he wanted to talk to me. He didn't want to sign up for the class because he would rather somebody work on him. And so it's like, okay, but you know, my thing is I like to tell people, hey, you need to work on yourself. And this is something that I'm teaching for those of you who are in St. George area. Unlock your cosmic blueprint. I can work on you, but here's the deal. If you learn how to work on yourself, you can help yourself much faster than you can wait on me to help you or someone else who might have these skills. Because I am actually training a lot of people to learn Jin Shinjitsu at this point. So Unlock Your Cosmic Blueprint is happening on February 21st, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. if that's something you are interested in the St. George area. It's actually in Washington, Utah, at Free Will and Healing. And you get the address and everything if you decide that you want to sign up. So here's the deal. It's $197, but the first 10 people who decide they want to go, it's half off. And you get, if you use the coupon code, 50O, capital OFF. And, you know, there you go. So here's the thing. If you reconnect with your true purpose and potential, and you harness the wisdom of astrology and numerology to illuminate your path, your cosmic blueprint can reveal your unique strengths, challenges, and life purpose so you can find clarity, success, and deep fulfillment. And that's what some of my students are already feeling. Melissa Roberts. I don't know if you all know her, but she's an animal communicator. She's a Reiki practitioner. She lives in Utah. And I want to say the Sandys, Jordan area. Tomasa's teachings of Jin Shinjitsu have had a powerful impact on my spiritual growth and my family's well-being. Through her guidance, I have found more inner peace and balance, which has helped me heal and feel more connected to myself. I am very truly grateful for the positive changes she brought into our lives. she is a gem, I have to tell you, because she has, I found someone who cooks just like I do and puts love in their food, and she's become my cook at my retreats now. Here's another person from northern Utah who has taken my classes, Liz Henderson. She's a Reiki practitioner. I've taken both the online and in-person classes of Unlock Your Cosmic Blueprint with Tomasa. She took the online class first back in, I started teaching it in July, finished in August of last year, and then I taught it in person in September in Tremonton at Tammy's studio. And she came, she said, Tomasa, can I come? Absolutely. I usually let people come and review free of charge. Once you decide you want to do it, because I do have the online class, it's actually recorded now, so people can go and learn at their own pace. But it's really nice to come in person, because Liz states this so beautifully. I received so much powerful info from the online class that I decided to go to the in-person class. Tomasa was teaching near me. I have to say that the in-person class was even better. It was great to have Tomasa right there to show me if I was doing the hand placements correct. And I was able to really observe all the information better being with her in person. It was great to feel the energy that she brings into her room. She is such a loving soul and has so much wisdom to share. And, I just love Liz. She's a beautiful spirit herself. Got a lot of Piscean energy, but she's not a Piscean sun, but she is very Piscean. So I'm going to give you something quick that you can do for yourself right now during these trying times. I'm not all about the cookie cutter method, but, these things can help you. So many of you might be familiar with mudras. I know yoga has a lot of mudras. Jin Shin Jitsu has a lot of mudras as well. And this is one of the mudras. So if you notice, I'm showing one with the left hand, the right hand holding the left hand, and then I'm showing the other hand. And so you can do both. And actually, I'm going to tell you to do both. So there's 2 steps to this mudra. So first, we're going to hold our left hand with, we're going to take our right hand and we're going to take the thumb and place it on the middle finger, the palm side of the middle finger, just as the picture shows it. And I want you to really just sit there and breathe, because breathing is so important. And as you breathe, you will begin to feel your shoulders melt. You will begin to feel your body coming into homeostasis. So go ahead and let's hold the left one, because this is actually part of what we call the centering flow. It also helps the liver. The liver is responsible for the smooth flow of chi and emotions. How many of us could use some smooth flow of chi and emotions? I mean, come on, let's be honest about this. So go ahead and hold your finger there. So take the thumb, the right hand thumb, and you're going to place it on the palm of your left middle finger. And let's just breathe a couple of times here. This is really quick, This is just the first step for the left side. So let's exhale first. Let all that dust, dirt, and grime. And that is what Mary Burmeister used to say, who brought Jin Shin Jitsu from Japan to the United States. She would say, let go of dust, dirt, and grime. What is that? That's all the gunk that we collect from the day, especially if you're an empath. All the stuff you're feeling from everyone. I just came off of doing a retreat last weekend, a shamanic retreat. Everybody was like, how'd it go? I'm like, you guys, it's a shamanic retreat. People are letting go their stuff. I was going to say another word, but I'm not going to. And so, when people are letting go of their stuff, I'm here facilitating it. I'm holding space, sacred space for them to let all that stuff go. So I just want you to really feel into this for yourself. Breathe, exhale all the way down to your toes. Let all the dead air out. And then inhale through your nose. Deeply. And exhale. Release. Let go. Feel your shoulders begin to melt. I want you to do about 5 breaths and see how that works for you. Go ahead and do that on your own. Breathe in. And exhale. One of my favorite YouTubers is Brian Scott. He says, let go of all the contamination. And that's what happens. We get contaminated with people's stuff. And sometimes we have contamination because of our reactions to different things. So release. Let it go. All the way down to your toes. And then inhale. Let in the life force energy. So the breath is spirit. That's what shaman always says. That's what I learned. Breath is nothing more than spirit. Breath is very cleansing. And release and let it just trickle down, releasing all the dust, dirt, and grime and contamination all the way through your toes. Give it to Mother Earth. Feel it leaving your toes, your feet, your soles of your feet into Mother Earth. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Continue breathing. Long, slow, deep breath. Inhale. Fill yourself with that life force energy. Filling every cell of your being. Cleansing every cell of your being. And then as you begin to naturally exhale, feel all that contamination, all that dust, all that grime, all that dirt. Feel it leaving you. All the negativity. Feel it leaving you. Cleansing your body so that you are clear. You're a clear channel for the universe, what I have to say. And continue breathing. And if you're ready to change to the other hand, go ahead and take your left thumb and find the palm side of your right finger. I don't know why that stopped. So let me go back to sharing. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Here we go, right here. The white back there, Tammy. My slide stopped showing all of a sudden.
No, it's still showing on our end. You're good.
Okay. I guess it was real big on my screen and it went away. So I'm hoping that I can get it to go next. So continue breathing long, slow, deep breaths. Exhale all the way down to your toes. So you should have your left thumb on your right middle finger palm side. That's what the finger shows, or that's what the diagram shows. Continue breathing. There we go. Okay. Long, slow, deep breaths. As you inhale, know that it is spirit. Breathe in spirit. The deeper you go, the more you're cleansing. And exhale, release and let go all the way down to your toes. Make sure your soles of your feet are touching the ground. Right? If they're not touching the ground, know that wherever you are, you're giving it to Mother Earth. Mother Earth takes our negative energy and she mulches it and transforms it. Inhale. And exhale. Release all that dust, dirt, grime, contamination. Feel your shoulders relaxing. And as you do more of this, you'll feel your whole body begin to relax. You'll feel the tension beginning to release. And of course, if you hold it longer, that's exactly what will happen. So I'm going to actually have you switch over to the second part of this. Okay, what's going on here? I'm trying to get my slides to go.
They're still on there.
I know, but it's not changing slides now. Here, maybe I need to exit full screen. Let's see what happens if I exit full screen.
It looks exactly the same on our end, just so you know, though.
Okay. I don't know why it won't go. Next. Well, maybe I need to do it with the... Something happened. Okay, here. What if I do this? Okay, and then I'm going to present again. Redo it. Okay. There we go. All right. So we're going to go to the next step here. We're going to take our right fingers and we're going to wrap it around our middle finger on the left side. and the back side of the middle finger. So I want you to hold that. So begin to breathe long, slow, deep breaths. And by now you might start to feel that that tension is melting. So this is something that helps you. It's an alternative than doing the centering flow. There's like a bunch of steps of the centering flow that actually touches every chakra. For those of you who are familiar with chakras, but this is actually a way to quickly balance yourself and center yourself. And if you find yourself getting upset, it's a wonderful finger to hold because it also helps the liver energy. I mean, it's no wonder that we want to tell people to flick off, right? With our middle finger. So this is a great finger to hold. So just hold it. So it's functioning two ways, centering yourself, but it's also helping you to release all that anger, all that frustration, all the irritability, whatever you are feeling. So it's wonderful. But I want you to note that the liver is all about helping you to have smooth flow of chi and emotions. And so that is what's going on here. So long, slow, deep breaths. So do about 5 for the left finger as you hold the left finger with your right fingers. Left middle finger with your right fingers on the back side. And so do about 5. Exhale, release, let go. All that dust, dirt, and grime. My shoulders have taken another level of relaxation. And inhale. And receive that life force energy. Feel it cleansing every cell of your being. And then feel yourself releasing and let go. Feel your shoulders begin to relax. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders. You know, just relax your elbows because your elbows help you to relax your shoulders. Release, let go, exhale all the way down to your toes. Long, deep exhalation. And then inhale. And exhale. Release, let go. Let go of all that dust, dirt, grime, contamination. Let it all out, all the negativity, all the things that you might be collecting. And then one more breath. One more breath in. And exhale, release and let go. And then I'm going to have us do one more breath and bring our shoulders up to our ears. One more breath in and bring your shoulders up to your ear. And release and let go. Feel what that just did for yourself. Let go of that dust, dirt, and grime and contamination, negativity, anything that makes you irritable, angry, upset. Let it all out. Let it go. And when you're ready, we're going to change to the right finger. So we're going to take our left fingers and we're going to wrap them around our right backside of our right middle finger. So I'm going to let you do this on your own. 5 breaths on your own. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds here. And I don't want to talk too much because I want you to really enjoy it. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do this on yourself. Long, slow, deep breaths in. Long, slow, deep breath out. You can really like sit quiet for 30 seconds in this deep place here and allow yourself to really feel it. Close your eyes and really experience that for yourself. And by now, 30 seconds is up. I'd like to see how everybody's doing. How's everybody doing here? How's everyone doing? I tried to stop sharing. What happened? There we go. Uh-oh. Are we still on Streamline? Am I still here?
Yeah.
Okay, I am.
You're still here.
Am I on here? Do they have any questions, any feedback, anything?
Yeah, what'd you guys all experience? I loved when you said close your eyes. I felt like that took me to the next level as well. So,
well, I think it's important to close your eyes, you know, because we see with our eyes, and it's so funny because we sort of get in our heads if we always have our eyes looking for something, right? That visible piece there, and we get in our heads analytical. When we close our eyes, we allow our third eye to take over, and your third eye is associated with your intuition, but also with all your clear abilities. Because you don't necessarily have to see in this physical world, you can see the vision. So I'm going to go ahead and finish sharing some of my slides here. I'm almost at the end here, so I just want to share that with you. There we go. So at the conference here, I have some specials going on here. I'm trying to get down to the last here so it shows on the screen level. I don't know why it's not showing that way. Hold on. Maybe I can get it to do it. No, it's not. Oh, because I need to present. Okay, present. There we go. I am so sexy. I have this thing that when I make a mistake, I say, I'm so sexy. You know, instead of beating myself up, and I don't want you to beat yourself up either. I want you to really love on yourself. So I say, I'm so sexy because I made a mistake there. So I have 3 things I'm offering at the conference, 3 levels here. Cosmic Clarity Session. Most folks are pretty familiar with it. You know, I'm doing them over Zoom now because I can record them and you can listen to them later. So there's a QR code for that. If you want to do that level. I want to give you some feedback. Some of the clients have said who have received this. So Jana McKinney, some of you might know Jana because Jana is a breathwork facilitator and trainer. She actually is presenting at our conference, I believe, or she's actually probably doing some breath work. Tomasa's Cosmic Clarity Session was spot on and gave me a lot of clarity about myself. Jenna also got an activation from me as well, but I didn't really use that because this is the feedback she gave on me. But you know, the activation is based upon the Cosmic Clarity Session or the, you know, looking at someone's chart. And so that's the next level. That's the Cosmic Blueprint Activation Bundle. And I will be doing the Cosmic Blueprint Alignment Activations. That's what I should call it. Alignment activations at the conference. I did them back in June at the big 2-day conference. I will have my massage table there to work on folks because people really do feel a difference. Those who come in pain, they leave the table and they're like, that pain's gone. What happened? So, you know, the key is how can I help you stay pain-free? Because staying pain-free actually helps you to get more in alignment with your cosmic blueprint. You know, how can I help you be, you know, breathe easy is what I call it because I can breathe easy now. I can go out and be in nature. To me, nature is spirit. I can tune in. I had a nice 3-hour hike today. No problem. So, you know, here it is. This is what has helped me to manage what I call breathing project all those years. If you want to go to another level, we can talk about that later. But I do talk about some of my, you know, sacred sovereignty, which is my year-long program. And so that is a whole nother thing. But here's what I'm offering at the conference, the Cosmic Blueprint Activation Bundle. And so that includes a Cosmic Clarity Session, which will be done over Zoom later. And the Cosmic Blueprint Alignment Activation will be done right there at the conference. So I only have about 10 slots, possibly. I'm doing them for 30 minutes, but I also like to space some time in there for myself. So this is me taking care of myself. That's what Tammy says. You know, I learned from Tomasa. She models it. And so it's like, I want to be able to take care of myself and I want to connect with the folks because I'm not AI. Never will be. You'll find that I'm that heart center person that wants to connect with people. I love people. I was an engineer. Remember, I had to leave engineering because it was not about connecting with other people. It was about sitting there in my cubicle and, working on whatever I was working on. And it was like, this is boring for me. I'm a Gemini. So, it might be great that I can figure things out, but also I need to touch in with people. So here it is. So this is a long-term client of mine, Marta Rout. You might not be able to see this very well, but she has received so many sessions from me. She used to have her whole family get weekly sessions with me in the Bay Area. And I decided to use her because here she talks about it's powerful and transformative. They used to get intense sessions, like 5 for the week when I go to the Bay Area. Every one of her family members. So it'd be her husband, and her daughter. And I would work on them. They'd be like, "Oh, we feel so good, Tomasa." So so you get 30 minutes with me, with my hands on. And I have what we call laser fingers. I never thought I would say that about myself. I used to say that about all the senior instructors, but I have laser fingers now. I'm the one who has 20 something years of experience now. So I have laser fingers, and I usually know exactly where to go on somebody. My hands talk to me. But I teach you how to do that too and unlock your cosmic blueprint. And that's the conference bundle special. So I'm offering that up for $147. It's a steal, because guess what? If you decide you want to come take the live class, you can. And I let you have a free pass at the live class. So here it is. You'll get the recording. You'll also get the activation, and you'll get the cosmic clarity session. Can you see what a great deal that is? So my long-term friend and client, Natalie Chaperon, she's a stylist extraordinaire. She wrote a beautiful, and by the way, I want you to know, I don't go to people and say, "Can you give me this?" Some of them I do, but most of them, they just kind of write them up in the groups, and I go, "Oh, okay." She wrote this in the group on unlock your cosmic blueprint group. She said, "Unlock your cosmic blueprint is like having an entire pharmacy at your fingertips or in the palm of your hands." Thank you, Tomasa. I love how you make this ancient healing methodology so accessible, and you bring depth, heart, and passion with all that you have, with all that you share. So she wrote that up. I did not ask her. She just shared her experience with it. She does these flows on herself all the time. She took classes with me long time ago before I called them Unlock Your Cosmic Blueprint and really brought the astrology piece into it. And she came back and she reviewed and she said, "I need to get back into the groove of doing these flows on myself." And it's helping her on so many levels, health wise, but spiritually wise, and then also career wise. Because, when we're not sitting in our career, or I don't even want to say career, when we're not sitting in our life purpose, we're off somewhere else. But when we're in alignment with everything lines up for us. And this is what, revealing your destiny through astrology and numerology helps you to do. And working with this activates it. Really does. So I guess I must have brought this back up again. Unlock Your Cosmic Blueprint. So this is the class I'm teaching in Washington, Utah, which is in the St. George area, on February 21st from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Free Willing Healing. And there's so much, you're going to learn about unlocking and decoding and initiating your body alignment to your number codes. So we're going to look at your number codes, not just your destiny or your life path number. We're going to be looking at your destiny, your personal year, your personal day, because your personal day changes every day. And then we're going to be revealing your innate talent, strengths, and your unique life purpose. So we'll be looking at your charts. So you'll learn how to read charts a little bit. And you'll be learning how once you start doing all this, you'll start making decisions that are in harmony with your cosmic blueprint. I know for myself, it's so funny because I was invited to go speak or I was invited to go to an event and they didn't have any speaking spots. And guess what? Speaking is in my cosmic blueprint. And I went, nah, I'm not going if I don't get to speak, because speaking is part of who I am and how I show up in the world. And when people hear me speak, they usually come and talk with me. If I'm just sitting at the table and they don't hear me speak, nothing happens. So, um, so I decided to sit out a conference because I couldn't speak at that conference. So, this is my way of speaking. And I did have somebody come back and last year say, Tomasa, I want you to speak at my she was having a retreat. But when she talked to me about it, it didn't feel right. And I was tuning into what I'm here for and what I help people with. And I told her no, she was not happy. But I just said, it doesn't feel right and I have to follow what I'm feeling here. And I'm glad I did, because that person ended up blocking me on Facebook because I told her no. So, it's like, we got to be able to let go and let people do their own thing and not be, that's when your inner work is really needed. When you get triggered by someone by telling you no, it's like a toddler doesn't like to hear the word no, right? So, it also helps you evolve into the light worker you're meant to be. I just talked to one of my students. I don't know if I like to call them students, but anyway, one of my students are mentees. I gotta find the right word for that, but today, and finding out how they've been doing since the retreat last week. And she's saying, no, it's really good. I feel really good. I'm stepping into who I'm here to be. And so, she kind of has that career path where she's in a mainstream career like I was. I was in a mainstream career for many, many years, like 15 years or more of my life. And then I knew in the beginning that it wasn't the right thing for me, but I didn't know what to do. But when I start getting this work done on me, I tell the story usually when you guys hear me speak. When I start getting this work done on me, things started shifting. And within 4 years, I left corporate America because my soul was like, yep, this is what you're supposed to do. And I said, if I stayed in the corporate world, that I would be selling my soul out. And so I made the transition and I jumped over. I say quantum leap, and so it probably didn't feel like it at the time. And I tell the story about that one as well. Like, oh, it's kind of scary, but you know what? I never looked back. I never had to go back to corporate America. So, what is going on here? We got this. Oh, it's the last slide. So, anyway, for those of you who are interested, come on by at the Energy Healing Conference. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, come on by at the Energy Healing Conference Saturday and come see me. Come hear me speak. I believe I'm speaking at 10 a.m. about aligning your body with your cosmic blueprint. But if you know that you want to have this done, I recommend that you sign up early, because I have sent out to my list that I'm doing cosmic activations, cosmic blueprint alignment activations. And so I know the last time I did that, I had some slots fill up pretty fast. That time I had 2 days to work with people, but this time I only have 1 day. So I recommend that you do it early rather than later. And many people who have come by and got cosmic blueprint activations, they're like, wow, I'm glad I did this. There are people who were at the conference in Layton a year ago and who came by and hadn't signed up. And I remember one of the guys who, he's very intuitive. He got on the table and he was like, wow, my back, it feels so much better. He drives a bus for a living. But, this is what I talk about. We're mainstream careers, light workers are, but we know that we're supposed to be doing something different. So this work might get you out of your body stuff going on. Your body stuff is just showing up because it's telling you you're out of alignment. And when I say your body stuff, it's like stuff that is not, in alignment with your soul, like pain, things going on with your body. That's the first sign that you're not in alignment with your cosmic blueprint that will show up. So that is one of the signs. So any questions? Are you back, Tammy? Where are we? That's been like an hour, huh?
Yep, I'm just right here. I've just been enjoying all of this. I did the hands-on that you had doing with us. Sorry about that. And I was taking the deep breaths. I was doing all the things. I was looking at the chart with the gentleman with gout, which is really interesting because I've had gout before. So I'm like, oh, I know what that's like. All the things. I just love it. I've been right here commenting, and it was kind of funny. I loved it when it was 5:55. I commented 555.
I have to go back and look.
Awesome. If you guys have any questions for Tomasa, this is a great opportunity to do it. I did put also the room number that you're going to be in on floor 2, room 220 and 224. It's a big area. We put 2 rooms together, so it's a nice open space. And even though it's at 10 a.m. and it is in a bigger room, you'll want to make sure that you get there a little bit earlier if you can, because we do have about 800 people that are currently pre-registered for this conference, and they still keep pouring in. Usually the week before is when the majority of, people end up. Yeah, that's just how it is. That we know that because we've done this enough times, right? But anyway, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm very excited. Your appointments that you're doing, you're wanting to actually pre-register them ahead of time. Is that right? That's what you're saying with this?
Yeah, I set everything up for them. I even have a link if they sign up ahead of time. I sent a thing out to my list. They did it back in June, and there were several people just like pounced on that, and they wanted to make sure. And those are all the people who came to my class in Tremonton, who've done it online. They came to my retreat in November. They're all like, one of them had back issues, and she no longer has to get injections.
Wow.
She's stepping into her drum making pieces. It's beautiful to watch them, just flourish and there. So, I love to see that. I'm here to bring more light in the world. I'm here to help the light workers bring their work into the world. I'm here to help the world heal, to take it to another level. And that's,
I love that. Well, if no one else has any other questions, do you mind if I ask you some questions that I feel like sometimes people ask?
Please do. Ask away.
Right? So what if you are a mom and you happen to have kids that are like maybe in their teens or their early 20s, and they are feeling like an overwhelm of emotions? I'm not talking about me specifically. So if any of my kids are listening and they're like, what is mom going to say? I'm not talking about us. I'm not talking about me. But just like I see that a lot, like in some of the networking groups online, people are like, oh man, my teenager's really struggling. What kind of tips would you give to like a parent who can they set up an appointment with you? Would you recommend them get your book? What would be some steps that they can take to take some action for them?
Well, first of all, I do recommend that they read my book because my book has a lot of information. It's so funny because I wrote that book in 2016. I opened it up today because I pulled out I took screenshots of the electronic version of that to show you guys the mudra, right? And so there is a hand chart that I do give out at the conference. You come by my table, come talk to me. I have a lot of experience. My kids are now 33 and 31, but I remember my youngest having a lot of emotions. And we're not even talking about just emotions. What I heard you say, this is the shaman in me, and what I heard you say is anxiety. Anxiety is huge right now. And my kids went to a very, how should I say it? Very high performance school, a lot of stress, a lot of pressure put on them. And let me tell you, they rebelled against it. And, being a parent is like, what do I do? Right? I'm trying to do the right thing for them. You think that's the right thing for them. And it's not necessarily. If I look back, it'd be a different story. Right? Yeah. So I used to work on my youngest. She's a Virgo sun, and she has a lot of Virgo energy. I was just looking at her chart the other day. She has a lot of Virgo energy in her chart. And so there's a flow that I had to work on her a lot, even for myself. I have a lot of Virgo in my chart too. I share it at the conference. And so you see a lot of anxiety, panic. So small intestine is actually the functional flow that we work on with those kids. But just something very simple. They can hold their pinky. It will calm them down. So if you just hold the pinky finger, it helps with anxiety,
Okay.
helps that fire energy, because
Cool.
small intestine works with the heart energy. Just as it does in Chinese medicine, it's the same in Jin Shinjutsu.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, thank you for that tip. That's very nice, actually, to just be able to have that one thing. But I actually have given some tickets to some parents who have had, maybe they're like, I've already done the mainstream thing and they're not really helping. And I'm opening the box, right? Like I'm opening up my perspective to like, how else can I help this kid that means the world to me? And so I know that they want to come and talk to you. So I will definitely be sharing this video with them. And if anybody else is watching right now and you're like, oh, I know somebody that could really benefit from that, definitely send, this video their way, because
Yeah.
Tomasa really knows what she's doing. She's had a lot of experience and she has a lot of love in her heart. She does this because this is what she's meant to do.
Yeah. I actually, in the beginning of my whole holistic healer career, um, I worked on some children. I worked on my own kids first of all, and that's what people like. Oh, you have kids? Oh, can you work on mine? Sure.
Mhm.
So I worked on anywhere from junior high.
Mhm.
I actually used to be the headache expert for the teenagers, because
Mhm.
they all had headaches from junior high and high school. So I helped them clear out their headaches. The parents would bring their kids to me for that. I worked in the school district helping the teachers,
That's fantastic.
work on the teachers. We used to have what we call a wellness day. And
Cool.
so I would gather all the practitioners that I knew, and we come and work on the teachers. And,
Wow.
we give the practitioners a stipend. And then we would also teach classes to the high school students and how they could help themselves with stress. So I have a lot of experience with that. I don't always share those pieces, but it's like you're bringing back some things for me. I mean, I was in the community helping a lot of parents with their students. And then
Big deal.
also, I just remember one of them because I contacted her recently. I was going to put together a headache program, and it's like, oh, she's like, oh, I remember you dearly. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then there was another one that I helped. They moved away to Oregon, and I saw her on Facebook one day, and I used to help her with allergies. She's
Mm.
like, oh, I remember you. Yes, you helped me with my health, my life. So,
That's
yes,
delicious. Yeah.
yeah,
That's a big deal.
it's really fun. And my kids used to kind of roll their eyes because, like, oh, here goes mom again, right? But it's so funny because now they're adults and they're like, their friends are like, your mom does what? Oh, can we ask you some questions?
Yeah.
So, it's always fun. But I actually helped a Stanford student. And my office used to be not that far away from Stanford University. So I
Wow.
had a Stanford student who used to sing, and she lost her voice. That was her whole thing. Her whole major was in, the arts and the vocal stuff. And she
Mhm.
lost her voice. And I helped her get her voice back.
Oh my
So,
gosh. I bet
yeah,
that's
so
so
there's
much
a
fun.
lot of things we can do. So
That is a
I
big
was like,
deal. Well, you talking about Stanford actually kind of reminds me about another one of our speakers that's coming. She's a first-time speaker, and I know, that you and I have spoken at length about how important it is for me to have a huge amount of diversity, right? Not just one cookie cutter type of person, but like open up the conference to everyone. It should be that way. Like everyone is invited, right? And
yes.
we have a Harvard graduate who's coming, and she's going to be speaking. She's from Japan. Her name is Kyla
Okay.
Mits- Mitsunaga, and
Uh-huh.
she's going to be doing family constellations. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, yes, I've heard of family constellations. I've never done it. I'm very interested in it, but yeah,
Love
it'll be pretty cool.
You
Yeah.
will love her. She's a Harvard graduate. She's been on many TED Talks. You'll have to check her out. She's great. I think you guys will hit it off anyway.
Yes.
She's going to be doing some hands-on
So
stuff
is
there
she
too.
is she based in the Bay Area?
She's in California. I actually think it might be. I can't remember exactly. I know when her and I spoke, she was in Hawaii, but she's from California. I'll have to look at her website. She's
Okay.
fantastic.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool if you guys
Yes,
like.
it would be cool. Well, I mean, I spent most of my life in the Bay Area, most of my adult life in the Bay Area, but I'm no longer there. I'm in Arizona now.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
so
You're in Tucson now, right? So the other day I was thinking about you because I was like, oh, I miss the sun and I miss the warmth of, just like summertime sun, the heat and the warmth and all that. And I was thinking, but I don't have to deal with scorpions. I'm like trying to think of something.
I haven't seen any since I've been here.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
I haven't seen anything. I see more wildlife, more like cougars. I'm serious. Or somebody says they're mountain lions, but they have never come up to me. I've seen them outside the glass, in the wash. And I'm like, oh, I want to always capture a picture and, post it on Facebook. People probably think I'm crazy, but you have to understand, I'm a shaman. So the animals usually don't bother me. They understand who I am and they can feel my energy, because if they feel your fear, they get fearful. So they just mirror back to you what you feel, or what they're feeling from you. And then, but if I'm like, all into that, talking to them, whatever, to me, they are, they're signs. They're giving us messages when they appear. So they're part of animal totem. So, even the creepy crawlers.
I actually have an abundance of box elder bugs in my house. And I was like, literally, I live in Box Elder County, and these little creepy crawlies are called box elder bugs. So I'm like, literally, what is the message? So I literally Googled it, and it's like, okay, that actually feels on point. Okay, I got the message. Y'all can go outside. It's nice and warm out there with the sun.
Well, if you just talk to them, you say, okay, you're not welcome around here. I don't really squash bugs anymore. I was taught to squash them as a child growing up, right? Get rid of them, get rid of them. And it's laughing because I go around my family and my nephew's like crazy, like can't stand spiders, scared of them, right? I'm like, oh, please. I live with a black willow a black widow spider, in a little casita I was living in for like, I don't know how long she was there. And I would go and I say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to kill you, but you know what? You need to stay over here. This is your side. This is my side over here. You stay in your area. And I remember one time I came back from vacation. I had gone to the Grand Canyon. My sweetie and I had gone to the Grand Canyon. We came back. He said, Tomasa, the Black Widow, she died. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to use her in my ceremony, because I do something we call a kuti, Despacho. We do them at the lunar eclipses. And so it's about letting go. And we bring bugs into that Despacho.
About letting go. I love it.
Yes. We let go of the bugs. The dead bugs, right?
Yeah. Well, I am really grateful for you coming all the way again to Utah. How many times have you been to Utah since you and I started working together? Quite a few times, right?
1, 2, 3.
It's been.
4. I've been to St. George 3 times now, and then I've been to Sandy.
Yep.
I don't know. I can't even count anymore.
Yeah.
I've been to St. George 3 times. I've been to Layton once. I've been to Sandy twice.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be the 3rd time I go to Sandy. And then, when I went to St. George last time in November, I came up to Sandy.
Yeah.
I had a client up there. I needed to clear their house. Yeah. So it's a lot. And I'm getting ready, I'm like, something in me told me, oh, I went to Yen on Fire in September. Oh, yeah. So that was another time. And then I drove up to Pocatello. And I'm like, well, from here, let's go, right?
Yeah.
And then that time I spoke in Tremonton. So that was the last couple of times I got to Utah. It's been like 12 days and 10 days I've stayed there. So I'm working on doing, at least 8 to 9 days right now, because I'm looking at the St. George class I'm teaching. So
yeah, that's beautiful. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put the link up for anybody who would like to know who else is speaking, and you want to be able to check out the schedule so you know right when Tomasa is speaking and where. This is it. And we do have a few free tickets that we can do for anybody who is watching this latter part of the video here today. So if you're interested, all you have to do is just go ahead and email me. This is my email, tammy@hopehavenevents.com, and we'll get you hooked up. I would love to have you guys be a part of Tomasa's class and be able to participate. It is a fantastic experience to be able to be there. As you can see, it's hands-on too. She's not just talking at you. She's involving you and talking with you, and it is beautiful. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, my friend. for
Thank you,
joining
my
me on
friend.
this beautiful Sunday, and we'll
You
see
too.
you on Saturday.
Okay, see you soon.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
sounds